For this video, I really want to do something different. I wanted to make like a bit of a theme, right? I wanted to film this video in the woods, to have like a UFO, all this kind of stuff. You know, just based on the name itself. But my guest himself really didn't want to do all that acting and didn't want to do all that kind of drama. Might be because of me, because I'm not exactly the best actor, while he's just a natural at it. But unfortunately, my guest also lives in the UK, and I find that he is the James Bond lookalike of the community. So guys, if you want to find out our thoughts on Alien Man Fusion from Mugler with my guest today, Chris from the channel FRAG-MENTAL, well, you're gonna have to stay tuned and watch. So this is your first time coming across this beautiful, bald, sexy looking bastard. Trust me, the guest that I have today is far sexier than this guy, but you know, it's really hard to outdo me. But Chris, oh my god. Ow. Yeah, I'm pretty self-deprecating and a little bit delusional. So this channel is very lighthearted and I don't take myself too seriously, clearly. So if you like this type of content, then please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. But before we get into the actual video, please slap a like in this video to show YouTube and myself that you like this type of content. So today we're doing, guys, Mugler Alien Man Fusion. I feel a Star Trek theme coming on, you know? Man, I wish I had some hot Orion girls, because, you know, I'm a geek, I'm a nerd, I love the Orion Syndicate, and I love those types of ladies. Oh my god. Don't tell my wife, because she's gonna phase bank my ass. So this set was actually launched this year in 2019. It's classed as a Woody Spicy. But before I give you my thoughts or the notes, Chris, why don't you give us yours?
Thanks, Chad, and thanks for asking me to do this collaboration. It's always good to team up with you. So, Alien Man Fusion. I did buy the original Alien Man. It was getting quite hyped and I wanted to smell it, I wanted to make a video on it. And you know what? I ended up quite enjoying this one. It wasn't what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer to the DNA of the very popular female marketed Alien. And this was something quite a bit different. It has this dill note in there. I quite enjoyed it because I had a bit of an association with it. So to me, I get a bit of blackcurrant and some licorice from this. And it reminds me of candy I used to eat when I was a kid. I used to really enjoy it. So I think I've got a bit of an association with something I enjoyed in my childhood. So that's perhaps making me like this a little bit more, because I know that on its release, this one didn't get a lot of love. I think it definitely got more hate than love, but it's fine, it's okay, it's not groundbreaking, it doesn't excite me, but I have worn it a little bit, although not that much, because there are other things I enjoy more than this that I will reach for. But it's okay, you know, it's okay. I've still got it, I haven't sold it on. I do enjoy it to some degree. So when Alien Man Fusion came out, I think a lot of people thought, is this a way of making up for the fact that the original Alien was a bit of a miss for most people on its release? It certainly didn't take the world by storm. So I do have this sprayed, but I'm just going to spray it again just to remind myself of it. Now, you know, the first thing, the first word or feeling that comes to mind when I spray this fragrance is just, nah. You know, it's kind of a nothing fragrance to me. It doesn't really excite me. If I look at the note breakdown, I look at the spices in there, I look at the cinnamon, the osmanthus, the coffee, the leather, and those notes are notes that really appeal to me. But this just doesn't smell it doesn't smell like what I would expect from looking at those notes. You know, it's fairly pleasant. I think the most prominent note is the osmanthus, which is coming off as a little bit more white floral and fruity. And I think because of the white floral nature of this osmanthus, it does take Alien Man Fusion a little bit closer to the female Alien, more so than the original Alien Man release. You know, a little bit in the dry down, I get maybe a bit of coffee, but you know, it's not a strong coffee note. It's not a note that would certainly entice me into buying this fragrance. I do love coffee, and I love coffee in fragrances when it's done really well, but the coffee here definitely doesn't attract me to buy this fragrance. And I'm not really getting anything leather. You know, leather I associate as being quite a sharp, masculine smell, or maybe like a bit of a smoother suede type leather smell, but I don't really get either from this. It's pretty linear as well. I think from start to finish it doesn't really develop that much for me, so it's not really an interesting fragrance. It reminds me a little bit of when you have a bag of sweets or candy, and you know those kind of gummy jelly sweets that are all different fruity flavors, and you open the bag and that smell of the sugar and the fruits that comes out of the bag, you know, imagine you were sniffing that candy. This kind of smells like that. It's got this kind of gummy candy accord to it, which is fine. It's not unpleasant. It's not something that I would definitely hate to wear and that I would be embarrassed to go out and wear, but it's just a kind of fruity white floral accord that's just a little bit bland. I wouldn't say generic, because generic to me means the typical kind of ambroxan male fragrance that comes out that has that similar kind of ambroxan accord that a lot of male fragrances have. That's what I would say. And if there's one thing I can kind of give Mugler a few points for both Alien Man and Alien Man Fusion, is that they've attempted to do something a little bit different. They've attempted to not be predictable and not be generic. So they do get a few points in my eyes for that. But I don't like this quite as much. I thought the original was okay. I don't like this as much as the original. It's a little bit bland. It leans a little bit more to the feminine for me, and I don't mind wearing slightly more feminine white floral fragrances, but it just doesn't smell very masculine to me. It's not something that I would want to wear. It smells more like a room air freshener, or an air freshener in a toilet maybe, but certainly something that I would want to spray on me. It isn't that. It's not that fragrance. Performance is okay. It's average. Bit of projection in the first hour. You're getting mainly that osmanthus and a bit of the cinnamon, bit of the spices, but it's not very spicy. It's not a sharp, spicy fragrance. It's a very smooth, rounded fragrance all through the life of this. So I get projection for about an hour, and then it just takes quite a steep dive and just becomes a skin scent for a few hours, and then it's gone. So the opening doesn't excite me, the overall DNA doesn't excite me, and the performance is only average. So for me, Alien Man Fusion is a miss. It's not a fragrance I will be buying. I'll be interested to see what the next releases from Mugler are. I know we're all waiting for Amen Ultimate in that lovely blue bottle. I have high hopes for that, because the Amen line has a good track record for smelling great. So let's see. I think things have changed a little bit at Mugler. I think they've been bought out, and I think it's different noses now behind the fragrances, so I've read. So it'll be interesting to see if Ultimate is the ultimate Amen, or if it's the ultimate disappointment in the Amen line. Anyway, there are my thoughts on Alien Man Fusion. Not so impressed, unfortunately. Back to you, Chad.
Thanks, Chris, for doing this video. So the top notes of the scent are cinnamon and ginger, with the mid being osmanthus and leather, and the base is coffee and beach. So what do I get out of this scent? I don't get a whole lot of notes. All I get from this scent is roasted coffee beans, some leather, and maybe like a vetiver type of note. This scent is just dark, it's masculine, it's deep, it's warm, it's really earthy, it's really not for me. I was surprised by the coffee note itself, because it really doesn't smell like just like regular coffee. I get a roasted dry coffee type of beans. Seasons to wear this one, I would say fall and winter occasions. I don't really know. I would probably have to say casually, maybe when you're home alone, because this fragrance is not very mass appealing. It's something very different from Mugler, and it's a different type of fragrance all around. This really does not smell like anything else really out on the market, minus maybe a niche fragrance. So for a designer, I'm gonna have to give it praise for definitely doing something different. Longevity on this sample was very spotty. I got 2 to 5 hours, and projection was pretty much mild to none. This is a sample, however, but with notes such as the ones that I listed, I can imagine this being a banger. Wife's thoughts on this one? She didn't like it. Not surprised, but at the same time, I'm kind of am because the wife loves her coffee. She can't function without her coffee. What she did say though is that this really does smell like a dry roasted bean coffee. And it really does, but it wasn't for her. And my final take? Well, you already know. I don't enjoy it. I find that this is a write-off. Designer companies are looking to please the masses and they're looking to make money. But I don't know if this is really gonna please the masses. I do give it marks though for being creative, for being something different, because it's not a safe scent. It's very different than a lot of the other designer scents out there. A lot of scents out there as of late have just been unboxing bombs. Just, you know, maybe when it comes to the colder months, they'll have cinnamon, woods. This has coffee beans and leather. It's a very different scent, but it's not one that I enjoy. I don't think a lot of people out there are really gonna like it. And I don't know if this is really gonna sell out there at the Hudson's Bay or just anywhere selling. And at the Hudson's Bay, this is going for $90. I don't think it's worth that. I don't think it's worth $40. I don't think it's worth $30. But if you like this type of scent, hey, there's nothing wrong with it. But for me, it was definitely a no-go. So rating out of 5, I'm gonna have to say 2 out of 5. And it gets a 2 because there's two things. That dry roasted coffee beans does smell quite authentic. And it also is it's a step outside the box. It's something different and not so it's not so common, if you will. But this is definitely one not for me. So guys, that's our take of Alien Man Fusion from Mugler or Mugler. Chris, I just want to say thank you once again for doing this video. I really do appreciate it. I know that you're a busy guy and you're a busy father and everything, but it really does mean a lot that you do this type of video with me. So guy, thank you very much. His channel will be down below, guys. Make sure to check him out. Chris is very creative, very well spoken. Like I said, he is the James Bond of the community. So guys, thank you for that. Take care and I'll see you later. Beam me up, Scotty. Ah, damn, that didn't work.